Hello, my name is Ms. Zepps, and today's video lesson is going to be on making change with borrowing. Making change with borrowing. As always, before we begin our lesson, we will go over the lesson objective and the materials that you're going to need. So here is our objective right here, and it says here, I will make change with borrowing. The materials you're going to need is real money, paper money, coins, paper, pencil. Now, the real money and the paper money is an either-or situation, okay? So now, if you have real money in the house, I would prefer that you use that over the paper money because the real money is what you're going to be using when you go to the store. But if you don't have the real money, under the link under the video lesson, there's a link for the video lesson. Underneath that is going to be a link for materials. I did put some paper money in there for you. So now if your parent have a printer in their home, they can print the paper money down. You can cut it apart and you will have paper money and coins too as well. All right, so just know that you do have access to that. All right, let's begin our lesson today. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with this problem right here, okay, because it's related to this problem right here, okay? And I want you to get your paper and pencil out, okay? Because this is the problem that we're going to be working on. So I'm going to read it to you. And it says, Ryan is buying a souvenir at the amusement park gift shop. He has $5. He buys a souvenir button for $2.82. How much money will he get back? Show the money. So what I did was I copied this problem onto this page, okay? Because and you're going to understand why. Now, before we even get started with that, I want us to just talk a little bit about why is it important to make change or to know how to make change, because it is a life skill, okay? And you want to be able to know how to do this when you go to the store. If you're paying for an item, you want to know how much change you're supposed to get back, okay? But just suppose you were the cashier and you had to make change. You want to make sure that you're giving the customer the correct change. So it's very important that you learn how to do this skill, okay? For some persons, it's going to be easy and they're going to pick this skill up right away. But for some people, it takes time. I know for me, it took time for me to understand how to make change. So if you find that you're struggling with it, I want you to stick with it and continue to practice. And you can just look at this video several times until you get the concept or until you have learned the skill, okay? All right, so we know what Ryan did. He went to the gift shop and he purchased some products, right? And the total was $2.82. Let me get my pen. This was the total, but he gave the person a $5 bill. So if we look here, we're going to start here. Let me draw my subtraction sign because it said how much money will he get back. So that indicates that we're going to do some subtracting. Okay, so whenever you're subtracting, like a 3-digit number, 2-digit number, this is a 3-digit, these are 3-digit numbers. You're going to start in the ones place right here. Okay, and you go from the ones place to the tens place and then finally to the hundreds place. Okay, so let's get started. So if we look here, we see we have a 2 here. We cannot take 2 from 0. So we know we need to go to the next place. We cannot take 8 from 0. So then we have to go to the hundreds place. Oh, I see we have a 5 here. Now we can start borrowing. So we're going to cross out the 5 and make this a 4. So now this, we took 1 from the 5, okay? This became 4. So we have to take that 1 that we took from the 5 and put it right here. Now this number becomes 10. Wow, we're not ready to subtract yet. because now we have to go to the ones place because we still can't take 2 from 0. So we have to cross out the 10 and make it 9 and give that 1 to the 0, and now this is 10. Now we're ready to subtract. Okay? So I want you to copy this, okay? Because when I go to the next page, it's going to make sense to you why we're doing it over here. Okay? So 10 minus 2 is going to be what? Did you say 8? If you did, you were correct. 9 minus 8 is going to be what? 1. Put our decimal point. Now 4 take away 2 is going to be what? 2. So the change he's going to get back is going to be $2.18. Okay? So make sure you have copied this because it's going to make sense when we go to the next page. You see here we did a lot of borrowing, did we not? We sure did. We did a lot of borrowing. Okay, let's go to our next page. So if we look over here, it's the same problem. But watch what I'm going to do. So we see we still have, we can't take a 2 from the 0. So we had to go all the way over here. Make this what? A 4. This was a what? I know you're going to say a 9. And what was this? You can put it right here. 10, right? I could not cross all of these things out over here because my pen would not have let me do that. The pen here would have not let me cross these things out. I would not have been able to explain it to you clearly. So that's why I did it on the other page. Okay? But we know this right here is going to be 8. This was 1. And this was 2. Okay? But I want you to understand what we did and why we did it. All right, so let's go down here to the next one. And it says, Randy is buying a souvenir at the amusement park gift shop. He has $5, okay? He buys a souvenir magnet for $4.76. How much money will he get back? Show the money. So now you can copy it down. You can copy down the problem, okay, if you like. And then I'm going to go ahead and start working on it. Let's work on it together, okay? Can we take 6 from 0? Nope. Can we take 7 from 0? Nope. Can we take 4 from 5? Yes. So here what we would do, we would cross this out. You see how they did that? And this becomes 4. Okay? Now, we took 1 from the 5. So we're going to take the 1 that we took from the 5 and put it right here. So that gets crossed out. Let's see what goes here. That's going to be 1. And then this becomes 9. Okay? All right. Why does this become 9? Because we realize we get over here, we can't take 6 from 10. So this is going to become 9 because we took 1. This was 10. But we took 1 from the 10 to make it 9. So that 1 we're going to give to the 0 here to make it 10. Okay, now we're ready to subtract because what is 10 minus 6? Did you say 4? Come on. There we go. Right. Now what is 9 take away 7? Did you say 2? There we go. And what is 4 take away 4? That's 0. So we're not going to put anything there. So how much change does he get back? 24 cents. Okay. All right, guys. So this is one way that you can determine how much change you get back. This is one strategy. This means you would have to write it down on a piece of paper and work it out like this. All right. But I'm going to show you another way. You can use either one, whichever one you're comfortable with. But what I want to tell you, or what I want to ask you, rather not tell you, is I want you to tell me which way is the fastest. So we're going to call this strategy here strategy 1. Will it let me move it down? Oops, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to let me move it down. So we're going to call this strategy over here strategy 1, and this is going to be strategy 2. Okay, so let's take a look at this one right here. And it says the goal is to add up to 100. So this is going to make sense because I'm going to explain it to you. So we see the number 47 right here. And when you're dealing with money, adding up to 100 means adding up to the next whole dollar. Okay? So if we look at our ones place, if we want to make this add up to 10, what number will we put here? Did you say 3? If you did, you were right. Because at the end of the day, we want this to add up to 100 or the next whole dollar. If we go to our tens place, we want this side to add up to 9. So what number will we put here? 5. And when we add these two numbers together, we're going to get 100. Okay, because I'm going to show you. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll put that 1 right there. Look at it. 1 plus 4 is what? 5. And then 5 and 5 is what? 10, which is 100. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to start in the ones place. And we need to decide what number we could put here to make it add up to 10. What number would you put here? 6. We need to go over to the tens place. We have to put a number here that would add up to 9. What number would you put here? That's right, 1. When we add them both together, they're going to come to the total of 100. Okay? Let's go to 39. Okay, what number will we put here to add up to 10? That will make this it add up to 10. You say 1, you're right. Let's go to the tens place. What number would you put right here to make it add up to 9? Did you say 6? If you did, you were right. Okay? All right. So now let's move on to the next page, because this little strategy is going to help you make change. It's going to help you make correct change every time if you practice, 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 practice. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next page. Okay, medicine costs $15.68. You give the cashier $20. How much change does the person get back? Okay, so we're going to go over here, and we're always going to start with our coins first. Okay, these are our coins right here. We're going to start in this one place. Now, what number will we put here that would make it add up to 10? Did you say 2? If you did, you were correct. What number will we put right here that would make it add up to 9? Okay, did you say 3? You were correct. So now, when we add this 32 to the 68, it's going to make us go to the next whole dollar, which would be $16. Okay? So we know our coins are going to be 32. So let's go down here and grab 32 cents. So now we have 16 right here. We know that we have $16 because we put that 32 cents with the 68. So now we have to count up from 16 to 20 to find out what our bills are going to be. Okay? So we would go 17. Oops, I thought I had cloned it. Let me clone it. All right. 17, 18, 19. Let me put this one over here. 20. Okay. So let's count to see what the change will be. 1, 2, 3, 4. $4 and how much? 32 cents. That's what the change is going to be. Let's write it. $4.32. Okay, that's your change. Always remember you're going to count up from this amount to your dollar amount or to your bill amount. Whatever that bill was that you gave the clerk or cashier, that's what you're counting up to. And that's what we did. Okay. All right. Let's go to our next page. Okay. Let's move this up a little bit so we can have some more room to work. Okay, so it says a piano book costs $11.32. Matthew pays with $15. How much change does she get back? So what are we going to do? We're going to start with, we have to determine what our coins are going to be. What coins is she going to get back? Okay, and so we start here first. We're going to do the coin part first. So we have to determine here, what number can I put here that will add up to 10? Did you say 8? If you did, you were right. What number can I put here that will add up to 9? Or what number can I put right here that will add up to 9? Did you say 6? You were right. So now we know our coins are going to be 68. 68 cents. So let's go down here and grab 68 cents. Okay, so we have our 68 cents. So that's, when we add this 68 to the 32, it's going to make this become $12. So this is going to become $12 right here, okay? So we're going to count on from 12 to 15. So let's do that. So we will go 13. Oops. I'm sorry. Let's get some more dollars. All right, let's do that again. 13, 14, 15. Okay. So your change is going to be $3.68. So let's write that. $3.68. Okay. All right. And please know that at any time you can rewind the video. Go back to it. Look at it again. And be mindful that sometimes, and even Miss S will make a mistake and she realized that she miscounted. That's why I'm really taking my time, okay? For your sake and mine, okay? So I don't want to make a mistake. And you wouldn't want to make a mistake if you were actually a cashier and you were giving back change. You want to give the person the right change. So just really take your time and count accurately, okay? All right, let's lock this so it doesn't move around on us. Okay, a batting glove costs $25.95. You give the cashier $30. How much change will you get back? So here are our coins. We have 95 cents, but we have to get up to the next whole dollar. We have to count up the next whole dollar. So what number can we put? We always start in the ones place. What number can we put here that would give us 10? Did you say 5? You're right. So we put 5 there, okay? And 5 and 5 is going to be what? 10, right? Because this is already 9. So how much money do we owe? How much money will we get back? 5 cents. You're exactly right. Because of when we count up, this becomes 25, 95, and then we're counting by 5, 95, 100. So we'll get right to that $30. Be 5 cents, okay? Your change is going to be 5 cents. So let's go down here and get 5 cents. 5 cents. Oops. Let's get up here. 5 cents. Okay? All right, let's move on to our next page. Okay. All right, so it says a doll costs $12.94. Kathy gives the clerk $13. How much change does she get back? So we're going to start with our coins first. We're going to figure out what our coins is going to be first. Okay, so we start in this ones place, and we're going to have to add a number here to make it be 10. It has to add up to 10. So what number would I put here? Did you say 6? And we already have our 9 is already there, right? So we're already going up to that next whole dollar, which is what? $13. So what is our change going to be? Did you say 6 cents? Because if you did, you were correct. Okay, 6 cents it is. Let's do it. 5, 6. Okay, 6 cents. And I probably should stop and tell you this. If you have difficulty counting mixed coins, I'm just talking about the coins right here. I did teach a lesson on how to count mixed coins, and I wasn't going to deal with that today because usually by the time you get to the point where you're making changes, it's something that you already know how to do. But hey, if you need help with it, please seek out the video that is entitled Counting Mixed Coins with Ms. Zepps, okay? Because I did go over how you do that. So our change is going to be 6 cents for this one. All right, let's go to the next page. You're working hard. We're doing a lot of hard work though. But isn't it exciting? Do you know when I learned how to count, make change, I was so excited because it was always a skill that I struggled with. So you see, teachers have struggles too. It was always a skill. And don't you know, to this very day, I still have to be very careful when I'm making change because I don't want to make a mistake because it's something that I still have. Sometimes I may make a mistake. Okay. So I want you to know that you're not alone. Okay. All right. Let's do a lock here because we were trying to get some more working space. Okay. So it says Dave buys a toy robot for $17.48. He gives the cashier $20. How much change does he get back? How much change does he get back? So we're going to do what? We're going to start with the coins first. We're going to determine what the coins are that he will get back. Okay, and how do we do that? We start in the ones place and we have to put a number here that will equal 10. What number are we going to put here? Did you say 2? And now we have to put a number here that's going to equal what? 9. I'm sorry, we're going to have to put a number here that's going to equal what? 9. What number will we put here? 50, 5, 52. So we know what is the change going to be? 52 cents. So let's do that. Let's go down here and get 52 cents. Okay, I don't think we're going to need that one. We might need this one though. I'm not sure yet. I didn't know if we were going to need those or not. Okay, I don't think we will. So now we have our change here. So this is going to turn into $18. Okay. Because when you add this 52 to this $17.48, it turns into 18. Okay, but now we have to count from the 18 to $20. Okay, so let's do that. 19, 20. So what is our change going to be? $2.52. That's what our change is going to be. $2.52. Okay? All right. So now let's go to the next one, because this one I want you to figure out. Before I do any calculation, I want you to figure it out. I want you to get out your paper and pencil, and I want you to write it down. Okay? Let me move it up so that, there we go. I'm going to read it, and I want you to try to figure it out, okay? And then we'll go back and do it together. You can check your work with mine. A pack of socks costs $17.95. The clerk is given $18. How much change is owed to the person? How much change is owed to the person? Okay? I'm going to give you a second to determine the change. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to start with our coins first. We're going to start in the ones place. And we have to determine what number I can put right here that's going to equal to 5. To 10. So what number am I going to put here? Did you say 5? And we go over here, we have to determine what number is going to equal to 9, but our 9 is already there, right? So then if we add this 5 to the 17.95, it's going to equal to what? $18, right? So how much change does the person give back? 5 cents. Did you come up with that? If you did, you were right on point. Okay? You were right on point. Excellent. Okay? All right, let's go to the next page. Okay. So it says here, Janie bought a purse for $19.21. She gives the clerk $20. How much change does she get back? So what are we going to do? We're going to determine what the coins are going to be first. So we have to determine what number I can put right here that's going to equal to 10. What number am I going to put here? Did you say 9? If you did, you were right. Oh, I made it too big. I'm sorry. Let's see. And then we go over to our tens place. What number am I going to put here to equal to 9? Did you say 7? So what are our coins going to be? 79 cents. So if I add 79 cents to $19.21, what is that going to equal to? $20. So let's go down here and get 79 cents. And there we have it. 79 cents is what is going to be our change. Okay. All right, guys, let's go to our next page. And we're at the end of our lesson, and this is our review page. So let's review what we have learned, okay? So whenever you're making change, you want to start with the coins and count up to the next whole dollar. Continue counting on if you have bills, okay? Stop counting when you get to the dollar amount. So what do I mean? If we were using this particular dollar amount here, then I'm going to start with my coins first. I'm going to determine what my coins are going to be. So I would start with the ones place, and I would determine what number I need to put here to equal 10. Then I will go to the tens place and determine what number I need to put here to equal 9. That will be giving me my coins. And once that comes into play, this becomes $6, right? And I count from that 6 up to what? The $20 bill, because the $20 bill is what I gave the clerk. I'm going to count from the 6 up to the 20 to get my dollar amount. My dollar amount, and then of course when I already know my coin amount after, before I start counting to the dollar amount. Okay. All right, guys. I've enjoyed being with you today. I hope you have learned how to make change. Oh, let me ask you this. So which strategy do you think is going to be quicker? Let's go back to it really quick before we end. Forgot. Is it going to be this strategy or this one? Oh, wait a minute. Let me go to this page. Which one will be quicker? This one or this one? Did you say this one? Yes, that's the fastest, because just imagine if you're in line and you're the cashier. You won't have time to write it on a piece of paper, will you? No, you have to be able to do it fast. So take the time to practice, practice, practice making change. I have enjoyed being with you today. I want you to stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you again in the next video lesson. Hello, my name is Ms. Epps, and I'm coming to you today with another video lesson. And our video lesson is going to be on a book entitled Making Choices at the Gift Shop. Making Choices at the Gift Shop. Okay? And as always, before we begin our lesson, we always have to go over what? The lesson objective and the materials that you're going to need. Okay, and as you can see here, we have a picture of a gift shop. All right, so it says here, this is our lesson objective here, and it says, I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to buy at the gift shop. I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to buy at the gift shop. What are the materials that you're going to need? Paper, pencil, and a copy of today's story. Okay, and a copy of today's story is right under the video lesson. There's a link to the copy of today's story, and if I add any other additional materials, they will be there as well. Okay, so we have to remember what the Kinder family is going to buy at the gift shop. Okay, so I want you to be thinking about that as we go through our lesson today. Before we begin our story, you always know what we're going to do. We're going to go over those topic words first, because I want you to be able to focus in on these words as we read the story. So what I want you to do is get your pencil, and I want you to underline the words in the story. You can do this after we have finished reading the story. You can also use a highlighter to highlight the words, because a good thing to do is to be able to define your words using the story, okay? And then you can go and get a dictionary and compare your definitions to the definitions you find in the dictionary. You can also put these words in alphabetical order. And hey, here's another great thing you can do. You can draw a picture of the words. Let's say if you choose the word scared, okay, and you could possibly draw a picture of something that looks scared, right? That can help you to remember the words. So that's a good thing to do too. These are all additional activities you can do once we finish reading the story, okay? All right, so let's go over the words. I want you to repeat the words after me. And don't forget to be on the lookout for them, okay? Our first word is choose, fun, scared, move, turn, up, down, fast, slow, around, gravity, spin, okay? Now, also too, you can start like a vocabulary journal with these words. Like you can get a notebook and put all of your words that you have learned from all of the wonderful lessons that have been taught to you and put them all in a book. And you can go back at any time and make sentences with those words. And your parent can help you make sentences, okay? All right, so that's another good activity you can do as well, okay? All right, so what we want to do before we start reading our story, we want to do an activity. And let's just take a look at our book cover here, okay? We know the title of our story is called Making Choices at the Gift Shop, all right? So it says, what is the title of this chapter? So what is the title of this chapter? Did you say Making Choices at the Gift Shop? Because if you did, you were correct, okay? All right. Making Choices at the Gift Shop. All right. What do you think this chapter will be about? Okay. I think, okay, it will be about buying things at a gift shop. Okay, could be. We have to read and find out, right? Okay, so here we are. This is a chapter book. What kind of chapter book is this? Is it a fiction book or a nonfiction book? Now, I want you to think about these two types of books, okay? Now, fiction book is what kind of book? Did you say it's a make-believe book or an imaginary book, a book that's not real? That's correct, if you did, okay? What kind of book is a nonfiction book? Did you say it's a book that's based on actual facts or something that is true, that really happened? Okay? If you did, you are correct. Most nonfiction books include charts, they include graphs, they have bold words in books that are nonfiction, and you can open that book anywhere and start reading. With a fiction book, you cannot do that. You have to start at the beginning. So let's take a look at our book, okay? And let's just walk through the pages. Now we see here that we have illustrations. Fiction books have illustrations in them, okay? All right, and we see another illustration. So this must be a what kind of book? A fiction book, okay? All right, what is the chapter topic? Is it biography, social studies, or science? What do you think? Now it's all about buying things, right? Now, do we learn about buying things in science? So we know that it's not science. Is this book about one person? because a biography is usually about one person. So if we go back over here and we look, we see one person here, but we see another person here. So it's not about just one person. So this must be a book that's centered around social studies, because in social studies we learn about buying things. All right. So it says here, compare this book to a chapter book that has been recently read. So when we compare things, what do? We talk about the similarity and the differences of things when we're comparing them, right? Okay. So I'm going to think about a book that I have recently read to give you an example. And then I want you can take the time on your notebook paper, or you're in your notebook or notepad or whatever you have that's handy, and think about a book that you've recently read. Okay. And then what you can possibly do is compare it to this book that we're going to read. Although we haven't read it, but we have looked at the book cover. Okay. All right. So I read a book about DNA in plants. Okay. This book is about buying, and it won't let me type any further. Okay. But this book is about buying things in a gift shop. Well, that's the difference. One book is about buying things, but the other book was about DNA and plants. Two different topics. Now, so that's what you're doing when you're comparing. Okay? All right. So now let's move on. It says, what kind of book would you choose? A picture book, a chapter book, a comic book, or a book with facts? Well, in this case, I would choose a chapter book because I like chapter books. Okay? Now you pick what you like. All right? So let's move on. Let's get ready to read our story. Now I want you to listen carefully, because you will be answering some questions at the end of the story. Okay? And let's begin. All right, so the Kinder family starts walking to the gift shop. Each of us chose something different to do at the amusement park, says Mr. Kinder. People can choose different activities. Some activities may be fun for you. They might make someone else scared. People can like different things. Okay? So let's just take a look at our focus question at the bottom here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. It says, describe why people might choose to do different activities at the amusement park. So we know when we describe something, what do? We tell how it looks, how it feels. We're making a description. And now it says, describe why people choose different things. Okay? So if we can see right here, it says they might make someone else scared. People like different things. So people can choose different activities to do. Some might be fun for you, and some might make some other people scared. Okay? So you see that? So that's the answer right there to those questions, okay? To that statement at the bottom there. All right. Move me right here. I went on the water slide, says Gwen. I thought it was fun. Jen liked the Ferris wheel, but I was scared riding the Ferris wheel. I didn't like being so high up in the air. I will go on a water slide again. I will not ride a Ferris wheel again. Okay? Let's see what our focus question says. And it says here, how does Gwen feel on the water slide? How does she feel on the Ferris wheel? So we have to go to the part of the sentence that talks about the water slide and the Ferris wheel. Okay, so here's Gwen, and she says, I thought it was fun. So now Gwen says she went on the water slide. So what does Gwen, how does she feel about the water slide? She said, I thought it was fun. How does she feel about the Ferris wheel? Now, here's Gwen right here. She says that Jen liked the Ferris wheel. Now, then Gwen makes a comment. She says, but I was scared riding the Ferris wheel. So now we see that Gwen said she thought it was fun to ride the water slide, but she was what? She was scared to ride the Ferris wheel. Okay? So when you're answering these type of questions, you have to be very careful to make sure that the right character is speaking. Okay? And that you're answering the question correctly. All right. All right, I have another statement to make about this page. Now we know that Gwen feels scared, and then people can choose different activities when they go to an amusement park. Not everyone will like the same thing, okay? And that's very true. All right. All right. Now, I rode on the roller coaster, says Ben. It was fun. Gwen liked the water slide, but I was scared when I rode the water slide. I didn't like moving down the water slide so fast. I will ride a roller coaster again. I will not go on a water slide again. Okay? So let's see what our focus question says here at the bottom. Now, how did Ben feel on the roller coaster? How did he feel? And it says, how does he feel on the water slide? So we're looking for, whenever you're answering a question, you're looking for that keyword. You're looking for Ben and how he felt. So here's Ben. Now, what ride did he ride on? He says, I rode on what? The roller coaster. And how did he feel about it? He said it was fun. Now we see here that Gwen liked the water slide. He says, but I was scared when I rode the water slide. Who's talking? Ben. So how does he feel about the roller coaster? He said it was fun. How did he feel about the water slide? He said he was what? He was scared. All right. Now, if we think about our previous page, page 50 here, you know, Ben enjoyed riding a different ride than Gwen, right? Okay. Now, if we move on, we're going to move on to our next page, okay? So let's go to our next page. We're going to have another comment I want to make about this. But that's true in any case. Whenever you go to a place like this, there are so many rides. There are so many rides. I can remember going to Kings Dominion at one time. It was so many rides there. No, it was Disney World. And it's just so many rides, and everybody's not going to like the same rides. Okay? All right. So now the Kinder family arrives at the gift shop. They see different kinds of souvenirs to buy. There are colorful t-shirts, keychains, and magnets. Now it's time for everyone to choose a souvenir to buy, says Mrs. Kinder. Souvenirs can help us remember what we did on our trip. So now they're at the gift shop. So now let's think about our objective, right? What was our objective? I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to buy at the gift shop. Okay? All right. So let's make our focus statement here a little bit bigger at the bottom so we can see what it wants us to do. It says, why will the Kinders buy souvenirs at the gift shop? Now, did you say souvenirs can help us remember what we did on our trip? And that's very true. Every time I go on a trip, I always look for a refrigerator magnet because I love refrigerator magnet. It's my way of remembering where I went and what I did. They are so fun, okay? And I'll even ask family members and friends if they're going to a place that I have never gone to, bring me a magnet back because it helps me to learn about a new place and it adds to my collection. I love it. Okay. All right, so let's go on. It says, pick a souvenir to help you remember what you like doing today, says Mrs. Kinder. I choose a t-shirt, says Gwen. I remember how the water rides move. I move fast down the water slide. I move slowly, floating on a tube in the water. Okay, so let's make it a little bit bigger. And it says here, what will Gwen remember about how she moved on the water rides? What will she remember? What did she say? She says, here's the section that talks about the water rides. And she says, I will remember I moved how fast down the water slide. I moved slowly, floating on a tube in the water. Okay? If you said that, you were correct. Okay, I choose a roller coaster keychain, says Ben. It will help me remember how roller coasters move. They move slow up hills. They move fast down hills. Roller coasters turn and go around loops. Gravity helps roller coasters move. Okay, so let's see what our focus statement or question says. It says, what will Ben remember about how roller coasters moved? How did they move? What did he say? He says they move what? Fast down hills. What do? They turn and go around in loops. Okay? If you said something like that, you were correct. We're answering a lot of questions, aren't we? And I know you're doing a great job. Okay. So it says here, I choose a Ferris wheel magnet, says Jen. I want to remember how the Ferris wheel spins around in a circle. You slowly move up until you get to the top. Then you slowly move back down to the ground. Those are great souvenirs, says Mrs. Kinder. She pays for the items. Okay, let's see what our focus question says. What would Jim remember about how the Ferris wheel moved? How did it move? Okay, how did it move? She says, you move slowly up, right? See, she's talking about the Ferris wheel. There it is. She said you move slowly up and then you move slowly back down to the ground. Okay? Okay, we learned a lot today, says Mr. Kinder. People can choose different activities to do. People and things move at the amusement park. Yes, there's a lot of movement, right? They move fast and slow. They move up, down, and spin around. Objects can move back and forth or straight. Now, let's go home. I'm tired. All right. Okay, let's see what that focus question says at the bottom. And it says, what was your favorite activity that the Kinder family did in this book? What was your favorite activity? And then you tell why. Okay, so I'm going to pick one. Oh, let me move back. Let me move back. Okay. And I guess the favorite activity that I like was the fact that, this store was all centered around them making choices at the gift shop. And if you have ever been at a gift shop, it is a wonderful place to go because you can see so many things that you won't see anywhere else. You see a lot of unique things, okay? So I guess my favorite part of the store was the actual part of them going to the souvenir shop. But you may have liked the way they remembered their trip and what they did. That's excellent too if you chose that as well. Or you may have come up with something totally different, okay? But make sure it relates to our story, okay? All right, so let's get ready to put our thinking caps on because we're going to get ready to answer some questions, okay? Let's get our story back to the beginning. Okay, so the first activity we're going to do is a fill-in activity. And whenever you're doing a fill in the blank activity, you always want to remember that whatever word you put in the blank, it has to make sense. And here's our blank right here, okay? So you want to make sure that whatever word you put here, it makes sense in the sentence, okay? It may fit there, but does it make sense? That's the important thing to remember. So what you're going to do whenever we are working with questions, even if I don't tell you this, I always want you to make a choice because you can always pause the screen and say, Mom or Dad or whoever's sitting with you, I need to make a choice in case if I forget to tell you, okay? All right, so let's read our first statement here. It says, people can blank different things. Down, spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our story to help us find the answer. And we see here that we see the Kenneth family, they start walking to the gift shop, right? And we see right here that people can do what? Like different things. Okay? So our key word to look for was people, because that's what one of our that was one of our focus words in the question. So we're going to put like there. Okay. Number 2 says Gwen liked moving fast. Blank the water slides. Let's see what our choices are. Down, spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. We're looking for the part that talks about Gwen and what she liked doing. Here's Gwen, and what did she like doing? She liked the water slide. How does it move? Down, okay? Okay, so now Ben liked the turns and loops on the spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. We know that if you look and see at my arrow, you see that we're going to the part of the story that talks about who? Ben, and what he liked. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So here we have Ben, okay, and what did he choose? He chose the what? The roller coaster, okay? Did you make that decision? If you did, you were correct. All right, so Jen liked something here, and that's our blank, and a circle on the Ferris wheel. Let's see what our choices are. Down, spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. Now don't forget, we have to go to the part of the store that talks about who, Jen, and what she liked. Okay? So let's do that. Now here we find Jen. And what did she like? She says here, she says, I will remember how the Ferris wheel does what? Spins. Okay? So Jen likes spinning in a circle on the Ferris wheel. Okay. All right. Number 5 says people and objects move at the down, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. So once again, we're going to go back to our story, right? And we talk about it right here. And it says people and things move at the what? Amusement park. Because that was our, here's our choice right here. All right. I have enjoyed being with you today. I hope that you have fun learning about how people make choices and the importance of going to a gift shop. If you are able to go away and take some time to visit a new place, at some point we will when it's safer to do so. But the main thing I want you to remember today is whenever you are answering your questions, please do not forget to look for the keywords in the question, okay? And go to that section in your story, okay, to help you find the answer. All right. Don't forget all the suggestions I made about different activities you can do when we actually finish our lesson. Don't forget to do those. I don't want you to not remember those words. Okay. So don't forget to look up those words or circle them in the story or put them in alphabetical order or put them in a sentence. There's so many things you can do. I've enjoyed being with you today. I want you to stay happy, stay healthy. And I'll see you again in the next video lesson.